Hey, so hopefully I might have figured out why VTEC doesn't work. So I found out that the 0 mile per hour thing was something holding it back because it would never reach 6 miles per hour. So I put that at 0. And now next thing is oil pressure switch enabled. We want to disable it because it might not be working. Maybe it's not reading it, whatever it is. And I found out that a lot of JDM cars don't even have an oil pressure switch. And what people would tend to do is just delete it or turn it off so you have a check engine light. So hopefully by clicking that, we just might finally have freaking VTEC. So we'll see. It's possibly my oil pressure's dirty or something. Now I'm gonna save this and hopefully I have freaking VTEC. Something's wrong. We can't win. Unfortunately, I'm on the side of the road, stuck because this laptop is a pile. I can't save my map. So you click that, I click it, does absolutely nothing. So this sucks. This sucks. So if you do this, make sure you have a pretty good laptop. Unfortunately, you can't use iTunes. I don't know why. Maybe on this app, they have an app for it, but this fucking sucks. I am stuck right now. Can't click anything. This pile of junk is frozen. Let's see if my car starts. Ah, this starts. Does it rev though? No, my car like on limp mode. Wow. Hopefully VTEC works. We're gonna do first gear real quick. Let's see how it goes. Please VTEC. Alright, ready? I don't feel nothing. Nope. Oh, that's from the exhaust. But no VTEC. No freaking VTEC.
Well, hook it back up and see if it stayed on the settings.
Yeah, we'll check that. Ah, that's annoying.
I don't understand. Why isn't the clicking saying to turn on the VTEC? You're unclicking it to turn it off?
I think it's off because something's not letting it. Oh yeah, it's a little bumpy.
My kidneys.
Oh yeah, no, you'll be fine. It makes you stronger. Alright, we're gonna try it again and we'll see. Just first gear. Okay. Nope. We'll stop here real quick. I'll call bro. Oh, it actually dies. Look at that.
How did that happen?
I set the idle to be very low and stuff. Like, oh well. Have to get the computer. What a dick car. No way it'll hit VTEC. It won't. But we'll do a little pullback. It revs pretty high though. That's not cool. My old engine could never. Oh yeah, there's a little leak right here. I put two pipes together. But you know what? Not terrible. It ain't that fast. It ain't fast as fuck, but you know, it's something. A nice cruiser. Oh, it died.
Yeah, I was gonna say all your lights just came on.
Let me see if I can start it in gear. There you go. Don't die. There you go. I think it won't die. Flange not bolted up. It's not welded in yet. I cut that pipe. It used to be like this. I know how to use that clamp, but I'm tired of it getting undone and exhaust thing going to the cabin. So I have it mocked up. So I have this mocked up in place. Cut that pipe. Put a flange on. That's actually a flange from a Toyota Corolla. Cut it up, and now I'm gonna tack weld the flange. Take the flange out and bolt her up. Got some little tacks. It's in place. Time to finish welding it on. This was a big ass gap and it's getting filled up. Well, exhaust hangers are on, new flanges in. Look at that, put clear coat so it doesn't get rusty. Okay, I put new gasket, aka duct tape, nice and tight, so it didn't move. Hopefully it's nice and quiet, and that's like my 10th exhaust I've had to make. And I've gotten pretty good at it. Since I fixed the exhaust, the car runs a little bit, I want to say smoother, it idles differently and stuff. So somebody commented and said that if you provide constant power or if you provide constant speed signal, your VTEC should work. I have mine set up to minimum speed for VTEC 0, but I put it to, let's say, 6, since it's already reading the, since it's going to be assuming there's speed to it. So I'll put it to 6. It should hopefully hit VTEC now. I also changed the rev limit. I changed the rev limit to, instead of 84, I put it to 83. Just to put a little safer. I don't need a rev to 84. Put the minimum speed for 6 miles per hour so it can read speed signal and hopefully it works. Hello, time for a big juicy update. The radiator support, not doing too good because the bolts down here that are supposed to hold it, yeah, they came off. Battery keeps jumping back and forth because I don't have a battery tie down, and it's a little loose. It's hard to tell right now, but it started bending down and the battery keeps touching things. And it's kind of dangerous because the terminal started burning, started touching. I almost caught on fire one time because it started sparking. And it's always grounding out. Like the battery terminal, the positive side is touching here, and it's not good. So we're gonna be addressing that today. We're gonna be fixing the hood latch a lot better. We're gonna put nuts and bolts hopefully on both sides and tighten the shit out of it so it just doesn't come off. Oh, another thing is the coolant started leaking again. We have like a little coolant leak right there. And I think the bottom one, that guy started to leak a little too. I mean, look at it, there's coolant everywhere. But luckily it just comes off. But engine looks pretty. Put a black oil cap, I painted it black, painted this silver. Radiator support, I put a nut and bolt setup on both sides, tightened them up pretty good. Pretty annoying to do it by yourself, but I got it done. What really helps is having one of these wrenches that have the ratcheting. Now it shouldn't come off. Before I only had one bolt and then one zip tie. Now I have 2 nut and bolt setups, so it shouldn't go anywhere. We have a little leak. I think it's time for a little more Teflon, and I think it's time for an oil change because look how dark that oil is. Well, boys and girls, here's the new battery tie down. This thing is not moving. It's pretty, the whole car is actually moving. That's tight. Put some wood on it so it can be good because this is a little bit higher up, and I just made it work. And hopefully this doesn't contact with that. I just tightened down the hose clamps a little bit more. Hopefully it doesn't leak. And this thing is better than before. It had a little movement, but those 2 bolts are tight, so they should not come off. Oh yeah, you gotta fill it up with good old distilled. Boom. Hello. Here's the Civic. It sounds nice and quiet. It has a good idle to it, and it literally sounds like a Prius. It's so damn quiet. Listen to this bad boy. As you can see, she's nice and quiet. It does blow a little bit of black smoke here and there because it's running so damn rich since it's not tuned yet and stuff. But it's better to be rich than lean. And the other day I gave her a wash and oh my goodness, It made such a difference. Having clean wheels, the body looks not terrible. It looks presentable. What really hurts me is that sucks. And the homie Johan, he hooked me up with a wing. This thing is so cool. I've always wanted one. Cool little carbon fiber. So that's nice. So yeah, me and my friend, we cleaned her up. She got tire shine, put some kind of wax on it. And I couldn't be happier with how it came out. We made a battery tie down. I bent the battery tray back into place. Fixed the hood latch support area. Interior looks clean. Still is how it used to be. I just love how clean the wheels came out. I have not had these wheels cleaned basically like since I got them. I never really cleaned them. Man, do I love it. But unfortunately, I'm still not hitting VTEC. I tried different little settings. So I clicked on miscellaneous and put no speed signal to provide constant speed signal. No VTEC. Then I changed to hit VTEC instead of 8 miles per hour to 6.0. No VTEC. So I put it back to 6. Still nothing. Tried different things. What I'm going to assume is since the base mapping for K20A2, it just won't work with the Z3, or maybe something's wrong with who knows what. But it runs, it drives, good daily, she's clean. Enjoy this little edit.